Game 3 has arrived. OMG, with the counter composition in Game 2, were not able to close it out as Rogue Warriors, off the back of Mouse's massive Mundo, there's some alliteration for you, was just too big for OMG to deal with, and an easy rundown after taking the Baron and forcing OMG to make some bad decisions. That said, OMG are clearly prepared for this matchup against Rogue Warriors. They were able to play towards bottom lane to upset SMLZ in Game 1 and snowball that to victory. They tried to do that by upsetting the mid lane in Game 2, snowballed the early game and mid game, but couldn't close out late. If they have a strategy prepared, is it just going back to snowballing the bottom lane and upsetting SMLZ?
Well, I think they could try the myriad of things. It's not necessarily all about SMLZ, but I do agree with the general sentiment that OMG has come with a lot of knowledge of how Rogue Warriors play. They are anticipating a lot of the drafts that are coming out for them, and they do have those specific answers coming out. So it's going to be hard for Rogue Warriors to show their hand early. And what I do expect for OMG is to maybe try to go on the red side, try to get those easy counter picks onto Rogue Warriors.
It's actually fairly interesting. This is Rogue Warriors side selection in Game 3. In Game 1, they chose red side. In Game 2, OMG chose blue side, so things didn't change up. Now Game 3 goes back to Rogue Warriors. Do they just stick to counter pick?
And they're going on red. So Rogue Warriors is the team that has the most obvious ban pick tendencies out of our Rift Rivals teams. They always go red side if they have the opportunity to do so. They do like to counterpick for Doinby quite a bit, and they also do like to run the double counter for top lane as well. They have a lot of flexibility in their draft overall. 17 champions played in the bot lane, so plenty of flex.
Yeah. We'll see what they decide to pick up, as again, we've already seen a lot of developments in this matchup. It might be time for Rogue Warriors to break out their secret weapon. As they've already shown that Kled in Game 2, it's time for them to take this match completely seriously. As Doinby, at the end of Game 2, after he gets the kill onto Icon, teabagged his corpse on the way to the Nexus. This is no longer about playoff standings, Clement. I love it so much. This is no longer a battle between Rogue Warriors and OMG. This is Doinby versus Icon. This is SMLZ versus his former team. This is personal.
Can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
That was totally deserved. If someone was taunting me from minute 1 in lane all the way to 30 minutes onward, I would definitely teabag him. That's just replying the gift, you know?
Re-gifting it, I suppose. Because you've been emoting over the course of the entire game.
Reciprocity. It's a word.
It is. Congratulations. But still, I love how this is becoming a personal grudge match between these two teams because we have such emotional players on both sides. Icon in the mid lane, SMLZ, and Doinby as well. Even Mouse was getting in on a little bit of the flame, and you can see Flawless is dropping a few emotes here and there.
You know who you're missing?
Who am I missing?
To be honest, I feel like it's not that big of a grudge match for SMLZ. He's like, hey, I left my boyfriend, and now I'm with a millionaire. He already proved,
yeah.
Yeah, he's doing perfect. I think it's a huge grudge match for Charlie, however, because he's been living underneath the shadow for SMLZ for quite a while. There's a lot of questions being thrown at him.
Even Chuan P coming in and playing in that starting role for OMG for so long. Obviously, it shows with that Game 1 performance with how aggressively he played and how much he wanted to win. In Game 2, we got to see a little bit more of that with the Kaisa, but he needs something a little bit more if he wants to try to close this out.
This feels like the best set that we've seen Charlie play in a long time.
It does.
It actually probably is.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah. So he's definitely playing with the chip on his shoulder. He wants that pride back. But the problem is OMG has never been about their AD carry. We were actually just watching the last fight, and we felt like if 5 just saved his WQ combo to protect Charlie, they could have had a much better outcome.
I mean, that was always the question when SMLZ was still on OMG. Who's going to protect him if everyone is going forwards?
You just go forward with him.
Exactly. That's the Rogue Warriors mentality. Or even better, go forwards before him so that he has room to go forwards himself. There's the Kled ban once again from OMG. They didn't want to risk it with that counter style. Aatrox Talia has been the same too from that Game 2. And now a Trundle ban to match the same bans from Game 2. But OMG, they get the chance to show us something different here with that Kled ban and forcing something different out of Rogue Warriors as well.
So what we've seen for 2 games straight is that OMG likes to go on the blue side, use their first pick to lock down something either for jungle or for mid. And this time around, looks like it's going to be Icon's Rise. However, I'm always a bit suspect about first picking the Rise because there's a lot of traditional counters to it. Orianna is one of the big ones, something that Doinby plays incredibly well. Cassiopeia is another one.
Another champion that Doinby plays incredibly well.
Yeah, so whenever I see this Rise first pick, it makes me rather uneasy. Xiang has played it in the past, but very scarcely.
I mean, we've already got Killua on that hard engage Rakan and the early priority. Mundo, there's just not enough bans for OMG. They just don't have enough.
There's not enough bans for Xiang. Now, interestingly enough, the real counter to Mundo we've seen in the top lane so far is actually being Kled.
Oh, yeah.
So that's actually a really funny trap that Rogue Warriors are running.
Aatrox.
Yeah.
Oh, sad face. Well, now Xiang gets the chance to look for counterpick in game 3 as he sees that very early on. Gangplank is the pickup for some massive scaling.
I really don't like the GP so early because that really takes the Rise question out of the question.
Yeah.
Removes the Rise question about where he's going, and it's going to be a mid-Rise for sure. That just seems like an easy give-me for Doinby.
Alistair is the follow-up, and Doinby's hovering over a few champions for SMLZ here. Could be prioritizing that bottom lane a bit earlier on. You already mentioned counter picks. There are a lot of them, but the Ezreal is picked up. That means jungle and mid are going to be the next answers from Rogue Warriors.
This is an interesting way to draft. What Rogue Warriors are saying is that Doinby has more than 2 counter picks to the Rise. You can take away the Orianna, you can take away the Cassiopeia. I'm still going to have something that is very strong against you in lane.
They're actually targeting away Jekko on the other side. That mid-jungle synergy so strong. Not going to look towards Chelly's champion pool. There's the Orianna ban you were talking about. Let's see if the next one will be a Cassiopeia or perhaps a Zoe. Well, that being said, Doinby doesn't really play a lot of Zoe. For having such a massive champion pool, that should be one that should be a bit more expected for him, but if he were to take it, it would be a surprise.
Taking away the Xin Zhao, so Rogue Warriors are taking away strong early game junglers, while OMG are probably going to leave up the Cassiopeia is going to be my guess. They're probably thinking that, hey, we could play against the Cassio, low mobility, never mind, bans it straight away.
Or ban it away, yeah.
So
now
without those junglers, they just say, okay, we can't actually play against Cassio anymore. They have to... It's so weird to see a team pick Rise first and then have to spend 2 bans there.
Yeah, trying to make sure the Rise is safe. As Kindred is picked up now by Flawless, a huge champion for him. He plays Kindred like Ning plays Kindred, aggressively and in lanes, farming enemy champions for kills instead of jungle camps.
OMG do have the Graves still left. It's a good early game pickup against the Kindred. And they do still have the question thrown to Rogue Warriors about what actually counters Rise in lane.
Well, we're about to find out. Gragas is the final pickup for Jekko as Chelly picks himself up that Tristana. Massive damage with the Storm Razors. Late game rapid fire cannon, Storm Razors Infinity Edge is so big.
Oh wow.
That would be a confidence play from Doinby.
Not really what you typically see. I could understand the situation you're picking it for. It's a Void Stone against a double AP jungler and mid laner, so you have a lot of survivability. But you're probably going to have to take Cleanse in this situation.
Well, he's currently got Teleport. We'll see if he sticks with it as he's still got 30 seconds on the clock to lock things in as he prepares to load onto the Rift for this, because that, I have been told that Rise is pretty good into Kassadin.
You do lose out late game, but you give up so much priority early. If the Rise he can push in the wave quite easily, he can roam with his jungler, really mess with Flawless as well. It's an incredibly risky pick for it to go to Kassadin, and you have to look at their side lanes. They don't actually have the strongest side lanes either. If I'm OMG, I'm already thinking about pushing Kassadin in and going straight for their bot. You do have the push potential, you do have the push advantage with Tristana versus the Ezreal.
especially if that Rise gets level 6 for Realm Warp. It's so easy to get under the turret nice and quickly. Pair that with a Gragas who's able to get a flash body slam, the Alistar headbutt pulverize. There are lots of ways to set it up, and only one way really to escape: Arcane Shift and Flash to get away from the pressure of that turret. So OMG could take a page out of Rogue Warrior's book and do the exact same play that Rogue Warriors are famous for: 4-man stacking bottom, heck, even 5-man. Get that top laner in there, get the Gangplank Cannon Barrage.
Exactly. They have all the tools to just shove in the bot lane and just all funnel all their members in, all their ultimates. It's going to be up to Flawless to really keep them afloat. He needs to come up with a solution to really hold on to his own blue side jungle. There's no way that if it just runs out without any outplays that they get to keep onto blue side jungle and then their own bot lane.
Yeah, the first few levels are going to be very important because he is on that Kindred. He will get the opportunity to start skirmishing and taking trades if he's able to find a few marks and get some early items under his belt, because Kindred, we know it can snowball, and we know it can be very good at denying invades.
So the matchup between Kindred and Gragas, you can actually outplay the Gragas quite hard. Early game, it's mainly a late game counter to Lamb's Respite.
Yeah.
So that's where I really want to see Flawless shine. If he's going in this setup, he's going to have to do it alone. Mid's not going to help him.
Yeah.
Bot's not going to help him. But if he finds that
weight.
1v1, he can actually swing the mid game, the mid lane matchup more towards his favor.
It's a lot of weight on his shoulders. Can he hold up to the pressure as we load onto the Rift for Game 3 of Rogue Warriors OMG? Those are some dedicated fans. Xiang, ooh, 5 gold. No Kleptomancy though. Does not get a bag of gold as 5. Ooh, finds himself an SMLZ. That's the Arcane Shift. Rocket jump out of Chelly as SMLZ walks into lane after the minions have spawned. Now Killua, let's see, he does take Gleaming Quill, so he will be able to heal SMLZ a little bit, but that's already starting to look like a painful lane. Ooh.
Yeah, you can't push the wave with Arcane Shift. So the level 1 bullying period that you have against the Alistar is pretty much gone.
Killua, look at that. He's using that Gleaming Quill on cooldown. Mana cost be damned. He needs to get his carry back up to health. And 5 is looking for another opportunity to head back in as he drops a ward and the waves crash. That does mean a leashless start to both junglers. I think actually Mouse was able to get a leash onto Flawless by throwing a few cleavers.
It's probably been a while since Icon has last seen Cassidy. He goes in for the level 1 auto attack trades and ends up losing a ton of health.
Yeah. That corrupting potion just so strong with the null sphere.
I actually feel like Icon's own corrupting potion probably
would help.
Probably harmed him more than it helped because he was continuously doing damage.
And kept the minion aggro in the wave. So he is taking Rune Prison at level 1, finally ticks over to level 2 to try and get that trade back as Jekko, he's setting up this bottom lane so early. The marked Scuttle Crab is on the opposite side of the map. Flawless went for double buff and did not step into the Scuttle. Looks like Jekko and 5 are ready to meet that Kindred, but seeing that the mark has moved, Flawless heads to the other side.
A little bit unfortunate right there for Jekko. This means that Flawless is going to start off on a good footing. The number 1 mark is always the most important one because it does have to come out of a Scuttle. If you're denied the first round of Scuttles, you need to wait so long for it to actually appear, and by then you don't know what your lanes are going to be like.
And that's why we see Jekko rushing towards the Scuttle, but it wasn't actually the Scuttle that Flawless wanted. He was looking for Xiang as a bait, sees that it's warded. That does buy enough time for Jekko to look for the Scuttle. He's level 2 versus level 3, sees that it's marked, and now he will see Flawless level 3. With red buff burning down, Flawless is just keeping his eye on Jekko as the two junglers look each other, stare each other down like two gunslingers in the Wild West. Who's going to draw first?
The problem here is that Gangplank should have an easier route towards the Scuttle, and indeed you do see Xiang coming down. That's why Flawless is very apprehensive about committing onto the Scuttle.
900 health. Flawless leaps back. He's got the smite, though he is being denied entrance into the river through that barrel. And now that they see Xiang finally has to give it away, Smite picks it up for Jekko as he ticks over to level 3. And OMG, through teamwork and communication, are able to slow down this Kindred.
Yeah, and we can really see the effects of that. Kindred, if she gets to 4 stacks, she does get 75 extra attack range, but not before that. So the question is, when can you actually get your 4 marks and start ganking your lanes at maximum efficiency?
Uh-oh, Flawless. Looking for a gank, but there is a ward on top of him. Look at that, Jekko's coming around from behind. Double flash simultaneously. Icon's able to get his back out, but he knows now that there is no follow-up flash. First blood, Jekko.
Great warding coming out from Icon, catches out Flawless, and that just swings swings the Kindred to even worse situation. We should see that after Ryze gets the Tyrion, he should have the wave push power to really shove the Kassadin in. And with this lead, Jekko and Icon could go lamb hunting.
Lamb hunting and wolf hunting. As they try to protect their own cattle, we can see a good trade as 5 flashes forward for the stun! And Chelly finds the 2v2 kill. They trade it back 1 for 1 as SMLZ has a massive minion wave. Chelly's forced to back away from the range on that Ezreal. But we've got a kill on both AD carries. As the wave crashes in, Chelly will be able to catch up in CS.
I will say slight favor in Rogue Warriors because Killua does have
boy, there's no flash for SMLZ. Jekko's trying to get in there, gets the slow barrel, and that's Chelly finding the reset. They trade 1. He leaps away and flashes to safety as there's no mounting dread for Flawless. This game is action-packed. 5 kills in 5 minutes. Doinby teleported down to bottom lane to try to collapse on Chelly.
Yeah, it does want to shove the wave in because if Chelly is able to pick up this wave, he still stays around and does so anyway. A little bit of a wasted teleport here, and you can see the mid lane. He is going to have Killua hold out the wave for him.
That's some experience absorbed by Killua, but Doinby will miss a large portion of it with his Catalyst. Icon at level 6 has got Realm Warp and the ability to maneuver around the map a little bit more. Teleport being used by both Chelly and Xiang to head to their respective lanes. As OMG are slightly ahead of Rogue Warriors right now.
It was a really good play on Chelly. He actually dodged out on the first battle's entrance, grand entrance coming in from Killua. The Killua W didn't hit anything, and on the way back is where 5 really did him in.
Able to get those resets on the rocket jump. Another marked scuttle, and Flawless is on top of it, but Jekko is level 5. He's already there. Now Mouse is getting the roam faster than Xiang right now. So finally Flawless will get himself onto the board.
He could already have stacks from kills.
Yeah, he has 1. Now that's 2, yes, because he did mark Jekko. So finally he's up to 2 stacks. Only 2 to go for that extra 75 range.
Big thing here we should tune in is about the mid lane push. Is Icon going to actually have the chance to shove the Kassadin in? Of course, the Kassadin is running teleport, but they do have a good window here before level 6 to kind of push Kassadin in and then make the roam bottom.
Wave is building up. Doinby Rift walks away to make sure that he's safe, just in case Jekko was there. I don't believe he saw Jekko, but still playing defensive because he knows the power trough of that champion is the entire duration of the early game. Now Jekko thinking about heading top. Sadism is ready for Mouse as he takes the Realm Warp. That's Cannon Barrage. He's got no flash. Trying to heal himself up, but Icon putting out the damage. He heals up, but finally Xiang gets the kill.
An unexpected turn of events for OMG. Rogue Warriors were definitely thinking about the bot lane. You could see the positioning on the map from Flawless. He was anticipating a potential roam coming in from Icon, but Icon has always used that corridor behind the red buff, you know, the Silk Road to the side lanes so well into the top lane.
Flawless is getting real low. Uh-oh, uh-oh. SMLZ tanks the hit for him and Smite secure. Infernal Dragon picked up by Rogue Warriors as they respond in kind to the gank that Jekko and Icon send up top. As we get to the 8-minute mark, the next dragon is going to be Infernal. Luckily, that means we have no quiet in this game, as there are 6 kills in 8 minutes. Though SMLZ, he's starting to farm up, doesn't have himself a tier, as he did go for Sheen first. And Chelly, with his own 2 kills, did go for the Bilgewater Cutlass, so it looks like Blade of the Ruined King Tristana instead of the Stormrazor's Rush.
I've always liked watching the Tristana versus Ezreal matchup because it's one of those matchups that if you ask different regions, they actually have different answers. Like in the LCS, it's always Tristana does the push, he should win, but you come to the LPL and Uzi's like, I'm going to pick Ezreal to Tristan. It's like, what? Why? It's like, oh, range advantage. I can out-trade this person. And it's always a very interesting thing. Like, the different skill level of player actually does change some of these matchups. I'm not saying who's higher, by the way.
It's almost a documented phenomenon, the Uzi effect, and how he affects AD carries in the region that he's in. This time around, encouraging more people to play Kai'Sa, which is something I am absolutely behind. But the blue buff is being attempted by Rogue Warriors. Like you said, it's 3v2, but Doinby joins up to make it a 3v3. Flawless starts things off. Icon over the wall, shows himself. Doinby on the side. Jekko has Smite, but Flawless will use his own to secure it.
I really like this roam coming out from Kahlua. He actually shows himself mid lane and then backs in a brush. So very efficient movements right there. He was going to back anyway, but he showed himself just to make sure that the invade from Rogue Warriors on the top side could work as well. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, trying to keep 5 on his toes. Because if that was a 4v3, especially from a Rakan, that CC sets up such an opening. Uh-oh, 5 and Jekko just outside of vision. Don't catch the recall of Doinby, though they are, again, setting up that Silk Road that you talked about earlier. But this time Flawless is on that side of the map. Do they try to follow up or look for a recall instead? Yeah, Icon's gonna head back to base. And 5 is even hovering around the mid lane to get vision for Doinby as they are looking for that inevitable Kassadin roam, the janitor cleanup off the back of these team fights as Rod of Ages has finally been finished.
It's been a while since we've seen Kassadin on the map, usually because in the Scuttle meta, it's so damaging to give up on your early pre-6 levels. But this time around, I feel like Kassadin is actually a pretty decent pick. You're going up against double AP.
They're actually turning on to Flawless and force him to flash over the wall as Jekko with the body slam forces Flawless away from the pit. We've seen this strategy multiple times out of Rogue Warriors. And Doinby will turn onto the Rift Herald, and woo, Rift walks away, getting some damage onto Jekko just to force him all the way back, but that does mean Herald will reset. Now 5, whoa, needs to take the blast. Doesn't get a choice in the matter.
Good move there, and does prevent the Alistar from flanking SMLZ. Very low health already.
And that's Chelly.
Yeah.
Bringing SMLZ to low health, especially if 5 was the one looking for a flank. They are even going to bring Icon and 5 there, but Award spots this out, some defensive vision as Icon just gets a trade onto Doinby.
Doesn't get the second overload. Already had the flux onto Doinby, so that would have done quite a bit of damage.
Bounces it to all the minions, and oh, Rise wave clear.
So Doinby's been
good.
keeping up in CS. He's been doing very well underneath his tower, but if you look at that HP, that's still not a sign you want to be seeing.
Already starting to become pretty scary on the Kassadin. Level 10, soon to get that level 2 Rift Walk. A maneuver around the map as SMLZ teleports bottom. This is a different style of gameplay that we've seen from other top-tier teams. EDG like to rush their turrets as quick as possible and unlock their bottom lane so they can snowball it around the map and take more turrets. RNG like to just play the strong lane advantage off of Uzi's sheer mechanical skill. Whereas SMLZ seems to be taking the pride match against Chelly here, but Doinby could be looking for a bit more as Jekko is the target. Cask on top of himself, a mounting dread, and the follow-up collapse. Cannon Barrage, 5 is there to try to get disengaged, but eats a charm himself. Some good damage out of Icon to try to get this as Doinby forced to use his stopwatch. 5 uses his own in answer. Chelly on the side looking for an opening, but he's got no one there to protect him as he teleported in.
And Rogue Warriors just collapsed so fast on any point on the map. You could see that OMG were following their footsteps, but they were already outside of the fight. Rogue Warriors had the inner track. They had OMG's members surrounded at that point. It did start with Doinby with the better vision on the river. Spotted out where Icon was. They were able to outflank him, and his jungler did pay the price.
That gives another kill over to Rogue Warriors and pushes a turret into the minion wave. As Icon starts to pick up some minions, Flawless in the meanwhile uses that window of opportunity to take the Rift Herald. Rogue Warriors, how do they find these timings? They did the same thing in game 1, where they were down like 4,000 gold, and then they would just group up, dive 2 turrets, kill a Cho'Gath, and leave.
I really feel like it's spectacular to watch Rogue Warriors actually do what they do on these collapses, because they bring in every single member from every single place on the map.
Yeah.
The amount of calculations for that to work is quite high.
Are they? Do you think they're actually calculations? Like, they do the math to go through the timing, because I know that Doinby actively tracks every summoner spell in the game, which is impressive in and of itself. That means that he also probably tracks his matchups abilities, his flawless. Ooh, he's on top of the Lamb's Respite here. The satchel charge stacks up.
Oh, great pushback.
Goes the Weasel. There goes the quick Realm Warp to get them out of this, but that does mean that 5 doesn't take the journey. He's looking for an auto attack, but dies in midair as Doinby Rift walks over the wall. Cask doesn't find anyone back to safety.
Yeah,
and they will turn on to the Infernal Dragon.
That was such a good play from Chelly. He knocks Kindred out of the Lamb's Respite, and Flawless does blow up off the last tick.
Primes the satchel charge and says, your move. Uh-oh, Doinby goes in, the Janitor goes low, no stopwatch, gets snared. And now SMLZ running along with Killua. Battle Dance Grand Entrance gets the bottom lane to safety.
That was a great bait coming out from Xi'an. He read Doinby like a book. He knew he was going to come in, and you could see Chelly was waiting by the side.
Landing that CC and setting up, of course, Icon's Rune Prison. That's the name of the ability. Locking that Kassadin down long enough. There is a bit of a counter push in the mid lane, but Mouse without teleport has been split pushing the entire time. And you know, we were just talking about what happens, how can Rogue Warriors find these timings so often in game 1?
And OMG found it.
Yeah, I don't know that that was Rogue Warriors finding the timing or thinking that they had the timing, as OMG are the ones on the clock.
So OMG, they just pull off kind of the same move. They collapse onto Flawless, and just watch this. Knocks Kindred out of the Lamb's Respite and finishes off his life.
Brutal. And
same effect basically as the Gragas cast. Just use it in a different direction here. Just a nice send-off to take the Infernal.
And here we get to see this once again. So Xiang acts as bait.
Yep.
Jekko very low health. Teleport canceled, sets up the cannons, and Chelly just finishes it off as stopwatch is used. Not even having to flash to get that out of the wall.
I just feel like Jekko is probably going to get reprimanded for going over the wall. It's like, this is a bait, where are you going?
How come you didn't stay? Because I had 200 health. But now 16 minutes into the game, it's still dead even in gold, though Rogue Warriors did get first brick and were able to break down the mid-tier 1 over the duration of that replay. The scary thing is, that first brick gold went to Mouse on Mundo. Is there an Executioner's calling yet? No, there isn't.
There won't be one.
Call me back when there is.
OMG's never going to build one. I feel like I understand the mentality of OMG, because just watching all these games, they're like, you know, we have one Ignite. There's one target on there.
It's fine, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Outlast the duration. You can see the gold is even in the mid lane, even in the bottom lane, even in the jungle. And at Mundo, 400 gold ahead. Sorry, the Gangplank 400 gold ahead. Because, you know, he's Gangplank.
So this is an interesting gambit by OMG. They took the Infernal Drake, but they actually paid 2 towers to do so. And what this tells me is that they're much more concerned about the late game than the immediate power of the gold gain from objectives.
They need somebody to walk up to the turret, but with Chelly completing his recall, Blade of the Ruined King and Zeal, he can't walk up in time, and the turret is still standing
2 HP.
With 2 health. 2 health! That's 1 away from the least amount of health it could possibly have.
That's a bit of a tilter. If you're sitting on your items, you know, you're close to your spike, that tower's 2 HP away. Feels bad.
And they can't just walk up and take it because there's a Kindred, there's a Kassadin.
Well, Icon could do so. He does have his Realm Warp
to safety.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the Zhonya's. I don't think they're going to use it that way.
They're using the Realm Warp to collapse bottom. Teleport as they're looking for SMLZ. The Cannon Barrage, they dive their former teammate and send him back to the Shadow Realm as they're now turning towards the second turret. First turret be damned. They're taking this bottom turret come hell or high water.
Yeah, and OMG right now, they're setting up sieges surrounding Chelly. Chelly's always going to have push potential against any single one of these lanes. Not even Mundo is going to be holding on to it. But on the other hand, Rogue Warriors, they're just trying to ring around the rosy, play around the map, and get as much as they can from objectives while OMG stay grouped.
Late recalls from OMG mean Rogue Warriors get to dance around the map and answer with the mid-tier 2. 3 turrets to 1. As OMG decide not to keep pushing and find themselves dancing back to Rogue Warriors' beat as these two teams are just striking out at each other.
Really smart play coming out from Rogue Warriors. Knew that there was nothing to be gained by defending. Goes on the offensive instead.
That's a bit disrespectful. Doinby, one more auto attack might do it. Gets the battle dance, and the satchel charge is not enough to kill. Doinby escapes with his life. Now he knows there was a ward in that brush.
Doesn't even burn a flash. I'm actually... Oh, he actually didn't have the flash up. Sorry. It looked like the cooldown was over, but there's still a sliver on that summoner.
There they go. Is he even going to attack it there? Breaks down the mid tier 1. 2 turrets to 1 as Mouse pops himself the sadism. Eats the room prison. Chelly is still trying to do some damage. You can see the crits are landing. Doinby teleported in. Chelly forced to use the rocket jump back as Mundo leads the charge. They get 5. Caught on the side. He's got no ultimate. And he will be caught. And Doinby flashes in the grand entrance. Gieppo chases it down. OMG are running it back, but Rogue Warriors are running it down as they're finding even more kills. They managed to kill off the Mundo. Icon steps onto the room prison as Doinby goes golden to deny his damage. It's one reset for Chelly, but he trades his life, and SMLZ gets it along with the unbenched. Doinby again with the emote.
And how is Rogue Warriors able to do it? They're just so lightning fast. All the members piling in at the same time. And I think the first catch was the most crucial one. They get 5 around the tower. You can see Chelly trying to force out the ultimate from Mouse actually does go down. And Rogue Warriors decide to not waste the ultimate, not waste the sadism. They go all in.
Chasing down the kills. It's multiple flashes to try and reset, but they don't flash in the same direction, and it's easy for Rogue Warriors to pick them apart piece and parcel.
It's a good play from Chelly there, holding on to the R and pushing out Mundo at the last possible second. Another fight already happening.
They've killed Flawless. They've also forced his flash. That means the Infernal Dragon, as it spawns, will go to OMG. To the victor go the spoils. True Shot Barrage! Oh my god!
They take it!
SMLZ!
Jitco didn't smite. It was on 12 HP. He had the smite. He did do it. And that's going to be double Infernal going over to Rogue Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of tilters this game though for OMG.
I love it. This game is becoming so personal. This isn't just League of Legends. This isn't just about playoffs. Right now, these are 10 players on the Rift looking across each other, eye to eye. There's no fans, there's no stadium. There's just Summoner's Rift and this last game in this best of 3. The pride match between OMG and Rogue Warriors. And OMG, they are playing up to try to match Rogue Warriors, the best team in their conference at 11-3. They are playing their hearts out. But Rogue Warriors are just so damn good.
Here comes the this round coming out from Rogue Warriors. Can Icon actually get out of this?
SMLZ's back over the wall. Yeah, he does. Dances around the vision and escapes with his life. He's still got a ways to go to make it out safely as he loops around the red buff and seems to be setting up a trap for Flawless again.
Oh, it's the trapception.
Oh,
I think SMLZ's gonna walk into it.
SMLZ! He's knocked out of this. That's the room prison. He gets punched in the face by Jekko and goes down as expressionless as ever, but suddenly OMG get the chance to push onto the mid-tier 2.
The hunter becomes the hunted in this matchup. OMG trying to outsmart Rogue Warriors again and again. Just how many picks have happened around Vision? Just trying to outflank the other one, set up traps. It's such a close quarters combat game.
Now they're still going here. The minion wave has been cleared, but they get about a third of the turret's damage. 5 with the knockup, cannon barrage. They found some excellent damage. Flawless gets the respite. They're all stacked up onto it, but Doinby's ready to clean things up. Killua survives. Jelly finds one and resets. Flawless goes down. Doinby goes golden to Zanyas. He tries to get one. He's able to. He actually gets a triple kill as he is dying. Rogue Warriors are chasing it down onto Icon. Realm Warp to get into safety, but it's so close. He's chased down. He's still outplaying this. True Shot Barrage Icon. You can't do it, bud. You gotta walk away from this. Okay, if you were about to go back in and kill the Mundo, I was about to lose it. More than I already have. This is incredible.
Oh my god, that was a 5v4 for OMG, but Doinby at the last second is able to turn it around, kill Chelly at the final seconds of the fight.
Yeah.
That could have gone really, really bad.
Finds 3 kills in his death throes. Like THROE.
I understand, I understand.
Yeah,
He definitely didn't throw the game. He carried it right there.
Exactly.
I have to say that OMG, I felt like they... So, the big problem about that fight was Jeko actually threw his casket a little bit too early. Flawless's Lamb's Respite was not on at that point, so the cast really didn't do much. You can see right there, they were trying to time it so he would get pulled out of it. Chelly does fix that mistake, but just watch Doimby here. He dodges out on the barrel, goes into the back line, kills the Tristana, turns around, takes down Gangplank as well.
Oh,
Whew.
What a play. Doimby, you are so good.
Massive timing plays coming out from them. If he got hit by the barrel, I think it was just dead right there. Like, there would be no follow-up, and OMG would be standing with 2 more people.
And this game is 700 gold away. Make that 600 gold away from being dead even. 13-13 in kills. Rogue Warriors with 2 Infernals, OMG with 1. It is unexpectedly close between number 1 and, what is it, number 6 in their group?
Yep, number 6.
This pride match for OMG. Rogue Warriors, they're playing for their record right now. They're trying to maintain number 1 in the league, but they've already dropped 1 game. They've already been counterpicked and outplayed by Icon in lane.
Just imagine SMLZ's mentality right now. He could possibly send his former team out of playoffs. At least put them very far away.
It wouldn't be complete elimination from OMG if they lose here, but they don't exactly have a lot of room. Xiang gets a ward. I'm not sure if he saw a mouse there.
If OMG lose here, Snake would have to lose every game, and they would have to win everything to advance. And that would be
still a chance.
Difficult.
Still a chance. We've seen crazier things.
That is true.
IMA went to Worlds.
Oh my god, I still can't believe that.
Yeah, we've seen crazier things. Now, Icon is split pushing in a side lane without teleport. He was able to take the top tier 1, and it is immediately recalling as Rogue Warriors are starting to control the map. We're reaching the point in the game where Rogue Warriors are scaling up and are a little bit more powerful than the late game composition from OMG, especially with the on-hit build from Chelly.
So what we're seeing right now is OMG are being the ones that have to play more careful. Ooh.
They've actually managed to find Mouse. Like you said, he's got that flash. That's the cannon barrage. Flashes sideways, but Morelos is going to prevent a lot of this regeneration, but they can't slow him down. There's nothing to lock him in place, and he still is able to walk it off.
And Mundo goes where he pleases, but that does give a good window to pick up this Ocean Drake if they want to. Sadism shouldn't be up by then.
How is it that OMG are able to do the side lane 2-man play that EDG have been struggling with and losing series over? That's a hypothetical question, just food for thought. Because 26.5 minutes into the game, Baron is up. Neither of the teams are able to take it. Icon and Xiang going bottom, but they both had teleport and could collapse if a fight were to break out.
You answered your own question right there. They both have teleport.
Yeah, but Scout plays teleport Rise. Ray plays teleport Gang. I don't know. Anyways, Ocean Dragon being taken by Rogue Warriors. No contest from OMG. They don't want to risk losing the Dragon or perhaps even losing the potential Baron off of a mistake or a misplay.
The really big turning points in these fights have been how OMG uses their displacements. Can Chelly actually get his the Buster Shot onto someone that will instantly kill them? Can he knock Mouse away? Can he kill Doimby when he comes in? And the same goes for the Explosive Cast. Can that counteract the Lamb's Respite first? So, you know, it's a very close, a very skilled type of matchup from these team fights, and that's what makes it so exciting. Rogue Warriors just off the raw champion power strength, I think they do have the advantage, but OMG can outplay.
The outplay is possible. It all comes down to execution, like so many games in the LPL. That coin flip, the outplay opportunity.
I like how you called the outplay a coin flip.
Because it is the 50-50. If I can get the outplay, I can kill him. If I don't, I lose. Do I think I can do it? Maybe. It's about 50-50. Boom, coin flip. But now Rogue Warriors, they're trying to eliminate the chance of that coin flip by controlling the side waves. They're using Mundo to split push bottom, though he is now grouped with his team. Xiang is still holding that bottom wave. And they're going to turn onto the Baron as they've got enormous vision of the area. Blue Trinket immediately spots this and they're forced to disengage. Now they just wait a little bit for the cooldown and do it again.
Great spider senses coming out from OMG. Rogue Warriors, I feel like they're still looking for the same type of team fight. If they can engage without Alistar being present, that's a ton of CC not there to prevent their, basically their dogpile type of strategy.
Instead, they have to wait for their team to group up and prepare around these buffs. As Icon, he's starting to play defensive now. He's 3-1-6 at 3 full items. He does have the Morellos, so he does have grievous wounds to apply to that Mundo. As Mouse shows himself bottom, Xiang actually drops a barrel on top of the Baron.
No, Chully's that one crit item away from being where he really wants to be.
100% crit, true damage. As that
engage already.
Engage onto 5. He does get the Unbreakable Will, gets a turn knock up onto Flawless and dies before the Lamb's Respite. Now Mouse is split in the back. Doinby's forced to flash away. Sorry, Realm Warp, Rift Walk. One of those. He's over the wall. He's out of there.
And probably not the best idea to engage directly onto the Alistar. And you could see Flawless, he was dead whether he used his Lamb Respite or not. So I actually like the decision to hold onto it. And the reason I said he was dead whether or not was Buster Shot was still up.
Yeah.
So
we've already seen the interaction for Tristana. Prep the Satchel Charge, and then Buster Shot to knock him off.
Are you going to use your ult? If you use it, I'm going to Buster Shot you. If not, I'm holding on.
And so they finally engage onto 5, and then they just turn and counter gank it.
Yep. Flawless in a really difficult situation.
That's 4 auto attacks that he was able to do.
You know, it might not even have been a decision for Flawless.
It might not have. As Doinby, that one was the flash. As he steps into the jungle to look for a mark or perhaps set up some vision around the Baron, but pays the price of a summoner spell. Ah! Jelly! Why did you buy a Last Whisper?
Yeah.
When you don't have the Executioner's Calling?
It's fine, they have the Morellonomicon, so they're probably banking on that. As the
Just sell the Doran's shield, it's not
But it's actually pretty rare to see the Last Whisper like this because you need, I believe that like the breakpoint's like something like 176 armor. Like it's not
there's the
worthwhile
Sunfire
on Doinby.
Maybe yeah, for Doinby a little bit more.
Because I feel like the way you play the fights is actually you just push the window away if he ever gets to that point.
At least it's going to be, as you said. That being said, we do have the Mortal Reminder from Xiang finished off. So at least there's that damage there. He just needs to land a barrel onto Mundo, or maybe just attack him once just to apply the stacks. But now, again, the Baron dance. OMG, they're maneuvering around. Mouse shows himself. Flash quickness, grand entrance. They managed to kill Shelly. 5 is in the front looking for a knockup, but his AD carry is already dead, which means it's all up to Icon to survive, but SMLZ finds the kill onto 5. Rogue Warriors set up the vision and pounce on their unprotected prey.
How did he do that much damage? Only Mundo and SMLZ followed up on that, and he was gone in the blink of an eye.
They're pushing onto the inhibitor right now. Icon forced to take a safe route back as he goes around, but the inhibitor line has finally been broken. And OMG, they're losing area on the map.
That was such a quick turnaround. I want to see that again, because normally I don't think the AD carry, he didn't even have Arcane Barrage. Like, they killed Chelly within 1 second.
Rogue Warriors on the Baron off the back of this play. Icon is set to step up, but Rogue Warriors are at full health. Double Infernal, the cast, teleport coming in from Chelly, but that's right in the middle of the fight. Baron is being picked up, and Lamb's Respite as they all flash over the wall and use whatever they can to escape. True Shot Barrage as a final send-off.
Great use of Lamb's Respite as an elevator in that situation. Basically a bridge of life for you to get away with. But I need to see the replay. That just happened too fast. I didn't expect Chelly to die before the CC ended.
Before I could finish the name of the abilities, he was already dead.
The quickness.
Quick flash,
Boom.
quickness, grand entrance. 3 things. Here we go.
Okay,
right.
so goes
Knockup.
in. That's the RW combo.
Okay, so you got a briefcase, a Mystic Shot on Bloodthirster Ezreal.
And that's it?
And I think Flawless might have also gotten the Dance of Arrows.
I checked the assist log. There was only 3 people that hit him, and the other 2 that were not Kahlua were SMLZ and Mouse.
Trinity Force, Bloodthirster, Blade of the Ruin Kick. That's a 4-item Ezreal. I'm not sure if he was at 4 items during that play.
That was still pretty impressive. And
a lot.
I actually feel like Shelly at this point over-indexed in armor penetration for the Mortal Reminder.
Yeah.
The rest of his team should be able to deal that already, so it's a bit of a waste in terms of DPS. That's probably not going to be useful against even Doinby. He
was level 15 during the duration of that play, whereas SMLZ is now level 17, so there could have been a level difference as well. But the Arcane Shift also does damage. Might have gotten the Essence Flux in there, I don't know.
Does.
It was very fast. But with Baroned up super minions, Doinby is escorting into the mid lane. OMG are trying to defend 2 waves at once. They're able to pull some of the minions up to the bottom inhibitor turret to defend it as Killua uses the Battle Dance to maneuver around. You can see some of the harass that SMLZ is doing as he finally breaks down the turret. Jiko tries to step forward, but doesn't find an opportunity. They're forced all the way back onto the fountain by that True Shot Barrage. The problem that wasn't for damage onto the minions.
Here is that OMG really don't have a front line to move Chelly's damage position forward. Like, they actually have very good damage on by themselves, but they don't have any tanky members on top. And that's kind of the problem with Gragas late game.
It's the same question as to what happened at the end of game 2. Who's going to protect Shelly on the carry if 5 is acting as initiation? Should 5 be acting as initiation here, or should he just be trying to keep people off the Tristana? A Kassadin, Mundo, Rakan?
It's a very hard question for them. I actually feel like OMG, they're defending their final inhibitor. They might need to once again start the fight themselves, and what they're looking for should be the cast knockback. One of those members get maybe Ezreal or Doinby, get a couple seconds where Shelly can deal good damage to that person, force them outside of the fight.
Here comes the minion wave. They're getting some good damage on the mouse on the side as some barrels break through the rest of it. Icon's able to take down the cannon. 30 seconds, a single wave left, but Doinby is escorting super minions through that mid lane. Rogue Warriors are still just playing these side lanes so expertly that OMG, the choice is about to be made for them. As Shelly, he clears out the wave bottom. That means he can't defend the turret in time. Finally walks over towards it, but you can see it's taking damage. SMLZ forced to step back away from Icon's room prison, and the inhibitor turret is still standing. Baron's only up for 6 seconds. But now, whoa, flash snare from Icon and the cannon barrage. That's a lot invested.
And it does look like they have to give up that inhibitor tower. 2 ultimates down and a flash from Icon, so can't really pursue this anymore. I'm sorry, 1 ultimate down from the Gangplank.
Like you said, that flash snare, Icon knows it, we know it, but do the rest of OMG know it? True Shot Barrage onto the minion wave, but the final inhibitor is already down. Rogue Warriors are just going to take the base and leave.
Shelly really does need to risk it. He needs to walk further and trust in his teammates to actually knock the threats away. If he just stays this far back, then there's really nothing stopping Rogue Warriors from just taking the base bit by bit.
I mean, they've already taken it. The last thing to take are the Nexus turrets. And with double supers, that's going to keep OMG in their base for such a long time. You can see the timers on the left of your screen until that respawn. It looks as though Rogue Warriors are set to collapse on the mid inhibitor, which is going to be respawning shortly. But with minion waves being aggressively policed by Rogue Warriors,
Shelly needs to stand up. He finally has his Quicksilver Sash. That should be all he needs. He does have the Alistar and the Gragas right around him. He needs to trust in his teammate. This is the only way they fend them off.
Flash engage. They get Flawless. Flawless is dead. Shelly's still alive in the back. He's able to leap back out of this as Doinby's eating some big damage. Goes Golden. Shelly's firing onto Mouse. He's doing some good damage with that true damage. SMLZ goes forward as Doinby dies, and that's going to be the reset. Chasing even further now. Mouse is going to be separated by the rest of his team as Killua walks away from the red buff, and OMG find themselves 4 kills. Pushed back to the Nexus. They find the engage they need.
Massive play coming out from Jiko, and this is why Gragas is considered the counter pick to Flawless. Flawless, no chance to even use Lambs, or Spike dies in midair.
That's that massive late game Tristana damage finally paying off. And that's from a single leap too far forward. Jiko just sets it up.
Doesn't land at all. No feet on the ground, dies instantly. You can see this prompts Rogue Warriors to go straight onto Shelly, but they can't find him. Doinby already forced to use Zhonya's early on, and Icon and Shelly just finished the fight with no pressure.
It should be noted, that was a lot of summoner spells used by OMG in that fight, and they still have double inhibitor down, as super minions are just flooding in to the base, into their side of the map. And look at the 2 buffs that are once again timed to spawn only a second away from each other.
The Rogue Warriors are still the heavy favorites to win this game. They could do so with just a base rush at this point, to be honest. But for OMG, I think that's a glimmer of hope that they've been looking for the entire game. Their carries are finally fed enough. You know, I question Chelly's build. I don't think it's correct, but he does have the Quicksilver Sash, and he's willing to step into the front line at this point.
Yeah, he's absolutely going to need to. Elder Dragon is up in 30 seconds. Rogue Warriors with 4 elementals. That is 225 true damage. On top of every single tick of damage that Rogue Warriors are going to get.
400?
225.
Oh, 225.
45 per plus the Elder.
I heard you wrong. I was like, 400? When did they buff that?
That would be a lot. Xiang, he's forced to sit back and defend. He's got himself teleport, so does Icon and Chelly, but they need vision around the pit. And Rogue Warriors are already on top of the Elder. But look at this, Gekko's actually heading over towards the Baron. He's walking through the vision of Rogue Warriors, and immediately Mouse diverts over to the Baron pit just in case anything were to happen. That's now teleport even being used. It looks like OMG are going to try to rush onto it, but Mouse is there. Icon steps up. They're denying this vision, but Elder Dragon has been picked up. It's too late, OMG. You need to get back to base.
Yeah, I really don't think OMG can risk it, and you can see Rogue Warriors are trying to cut them off from their own high ground.
OMG are actually walking into this. They think they want the fight, but I'm not sure that they do against the quad elemental Elder buff and now the Elder Dragon, sorry, the Baron for Rogue Warriors.
Rogue Warriors are going for the full combo set at this point. They're not going to risk another team fight in front of OMG's Nexus. They know that the 5v5 could very well be won by OMG. Just one pick onto Flawless and this entire thing changes.
Now we've got 6 items on Tristana, 6 items on Icon, fully stacked Spellbinders, and the Mercurial Scimitar completed by Chelly. But that said, SMLZ has just sold his boots.
Doesn't need them.
He doesn't, because he is so big. I believe that that was selling boots for QSS, and we've also got 6 items onto Doinby. But here it comes. Execution, one last team fight. OMG against Rogue Warriors. 5 versus 5 behind the bike racks.
Can Gekko actually find the same initiation he did in the first time around? Will Chelly be able to stand up to these threats? Or are they just going to play Nexus defense?
He has no flash this time. Here come the Baron up minions. Already Flawless is working on the Nexus turret, and the first one crumbles. Doinby escorts another wave. The flash engaged, but he gets knocked out midway. Chelly's still up, but they're on the Nexus. There's the Lance Wrist, but they're knocked off of it. Rogue Warriors just play the numbers game, and it pays off as they walk it down and take the series against OMG.
There was a really good build-up to the end of that fight, but I have to say OMG probably played it a little bit too timid in the end. Once the 2's towers goes down, you spin up the Lance Respite, you can't kill anyone, your Nexus is 100% dead. So I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed at the very end. It was an anticlimactic finish for OMG. They missed their window. They had to go in before the Nexus towers went down.
And you can see right there, Rogue Warriors stepping up to take a bow. Did they shake hands?
I'm not sure how the sequence works in other arenas, but I'm pretty sure they will.
I mean, we talked about this being a personal grudge match between the two, but if they don't shake hands, that's quite a statement.
I'm pretty sure they will, right?
OMG are leaving, Clement.
Maybe they have shaken hands? Okay.
Alrighty, well, Rogue Warriors now find themselves at 12-3 in the standings, again cementing themselves as the top team in their conference. But 41-minute victory. All 3 games were 40 minutes, just about on the dot. 40-40 for game 1, 40-15 for game 2, and a 41 closeout in game 3.
Yeah, it definitely was a grueling battle here. Rogue Warriors, again, managed to escape with what I would have considered a bit of a worse draft, to be honest. Their early mid lane pressure was nowhere to be seen. It was potentially a very easy dive onto the bot side as well. But what I felt they did really well in the early game and how they held the ball in their own court was that they traded objectives super well. That one kill that Icon managed to get into the top lane was traded back by massive tower damage in terms of the bot side. They got the Infernal Drake on the bot side. And then when Icon went for another dive, they were able to get 2 more towers off the side of that. So really, Rogue Warriors have been playing the map better than OMG, but not necessarily the other aspects.
And again, we do have to celebrate Rogue Warriors for finding that pick onto Chelly and slowing down that Tristana over the course of the game. It's really kind of unfortunate that it came down to this. And now we get to see the damage once again. Okay.
So that's our
Grand
W
entrance.
damage.
1, 2, 3. It looked like that last tick at the end. Just a massive burst coming out of the Bloodthirster Ezreal. I believe that was.
I will say that
Because
the
it was
CC
just a
duration
briefcase.
is actually incredibly long off that single combo, because it's the knock-up and then the...
So it was the charm first into knockup.
Yeah, charm into knock-up.
And he died before coming down. As his feet touched the ground, he just fell over.
That sounds
Kaput.
wrong. That's briefcase and at most a Mystic Shock and
maybe the Arcane Shift.
Yeah, maybe the Arcane Shift, and he was dead.
I don't think I saw the Essence Flux as well, but still massive damage.
Yeah.
And with the AD carry dead, that enabled Rogue Warriors to take control of the game, because leading up to that point, it was dead even. We were talking about it over the course of the game. It was push and pull with these fights back and forth.
Yeah, definitely that was the case, so on. I did feel like Chelly probably should have itemized into something different, like I tunneled so hard, the shadow of Mundo loomed over his heart from game 2, and he was like, I need that Mortal Reminder.
Yeah.
They're laughing at me for not building it, but he had the Morello Nomcon on his team and Mortal Reminder on Gameplink already, which procs off the barrels. So I felt like he could have gone for more damage, or even the Quicksilver Sash earlier, and what that allowed Rogue Warriors to do was just take all their inhibitors uncontested.
Yeah,
which was a big deal.
Yeah, from there it was just an easy closeout from from Rogue Warriors, not OMG, to walk down the remaining neutral objectives around the map, because we do still have to commend Rogue Warriors for controlling those neutral objectives, taking the double Infernal, Ocean, and Cloud to set themselves up for that inevitable Elder for massive damage. So even if you did want to try to fight Rogue Warriors, it would be an uphill battle from the beginning because of how they played that early game with a Kassadin.
Yeah, and Rogue Warriors are just, they're shaping up to be this monster team with the picks. Like, there is no other team that we're seeing right now that is so clean, have 5 members on their team, synergize this well, and can make those instant map flicks just like that.
Yeah, instantaneous decisions.
There's a lot of situations where they are winning simply because they are reacting faster. And that's incredibly rare in League of Legends. That's unheard of in the LCS. Like, how do you win games? We click buttons faster. And that's really the
set
case
up for
them.
a pick, take a team fight, then take the Baron, siege, and end the game that way.
Yeah,
Whereas Rogue Warriors, they show that they don't need to do that. As you said, Doinby will take our MVP for that Game 3 performance on that Kassadin. The laning phase was a bit rough, but by the end, he did some massive damage at 33% of his team's damage.
A lot of that going on to the back line as well. The first pick that Doinby was able to make did swing the game massively in their favor. He found the flank, and throughout it, we could see he was just sticking to Chelly so often. Chelly didn't have a very easy time doing damage, and there was that one fight in front of the inhibitor where OMG were looking at a 5v4. They were going to take the objectives, and Doinby comes out of nowhere with the last 300 health, gets the triple.
Oh, massive.
Woo.
Massive play from the Kassadin. You can't even call it Janitor Kassadin at that point. It was the goalkeeper Kassadin to stop OMG's push onto the inhibitor turret without minions.
The Rift Walk, I can understand, you know, it was probably mistimed from Gameplaying side, like Shie couldn't get the last Rift Walk on time, but exactly, we have this fight once more. Like we're saying, Jeko probably does throw his cask a little bit early, a lot of low health OMG members, but Doinby is also very low. He goes into Zhonya's, picks up the Alistar first, goes in, turns around to get the Gangplank as well.
And we were kind of harping on 5 a little bit earlier. 5 died to tanking the turret shots because he stepped off of the Lamb's respite and then flashed away after the turret had already fired a bullet. So Doinby didn't actually kill him. Doinby damaged him last.
Yeah.
And 5 killed him.
He killed him during Zhonya, so does that really count as a kill? It's more like a, you know, player...
Still, it's a big setup from Rogue Warriors, but at the end of the day, that does give them the victory and bring them to 12-3. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings and see how the Western Conference is starting to shape up, because things are still anybody's game. In between 2nd and 6th place, it is 3 games.
It's so close on the Western Conference. On the Eastern side, we can see there's a bit more separation. Only the 4th slot is up for grabs, but for the Western Conference, like 2 to 5 could be anyone's guess.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get a chance to get some more lucidity into what's going on over there, because EDG, they're finally out of their losing streak. The first time in 3 weeks that they've taken a win. This organization has never suffered losses like this before, and finally they've got some wins under their belt. But do they have the momentum to finish it off to the end of the split and get them into playoffs? Because we know EDG have got the playoffs buff. If they make it that far, they'll almost certainly succeed.
And I've checked the way the schedule works. The bottom half, the last 2 weeks are the most intense by far. We're seeing Snake battle out with FPX. They're having OMG thrown in the mix as well. All of these teams will actually play against each other. TOP is in there as well. So how will the Western Conference shake up for playoffs is now the biggest question left on the table.
I mean, we're going to find out in the next few weeks. Let's take a look at tomorrow's games, specifically our match of the week, as Invictus Gaming will challenge Royal Never Give Up once again for title of best in the LPL. Jackie Love gets to make his claim against the King once again.
Yeah, and you can see while Jackie Love is gunning for Uzi, Uzi just has his single finger up saying, I am #1. Can he actually hold on to this slot? RNG have not been looking so hot recently. It does seem like the wear and tear of the season is getting to them. The second set is also something I definitely want to watch. The e-commerce wars, the battles between the rookies of the split. Used to be rookie of the split, but now we have Angel in the fight as well. While Suning, while JD are sitting pretty, Suning are fighting for their playoff lives.
And of course, our first game, Vici taking on LGD. We get a chance to watch LGD try to continue their momentum and climb up. Again, they are 6 and 8. They are in 5th place. This win would tie them with Suning, who are then playing in the next matchup. So there is still an opportunity for LGD to chase down a playoff spot for the first time in years for this team. It's all possible, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow.
Well, definitely will be. Yuki versus Angel. Who is going to come down to the line, pick that assassin up, and maybe take the Rookie of the Summer award? It's going to be riding on these sets.
We're certainly going to find out. That said, that's all going to be happening tomorrow, but we're all done today. We don't have any more games. We don't have anything else to break down. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the LPL. Be sure to come back tomorrow and watch all of those awesome games. On behalf of myself, my co-analyst and caster, and the whole production crew, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.